Hello students, welcome to today's session. In this today's session we are going to discuss the topic regarding process and the commands that is related to process. Previous class we have discussed what is a process and some of the basic things like what are the different states you have in the process. Those things we have discussed in the previous session. Now in this session first we are going to discuss process related commands. So what are the process related commands? First command is called as PS command. So PS command, it is used to display some of the information that is related to a process like process ID and the terminal and controls of the process. All those things will be displayed. Say for example, if I open the Cygwin software, if I write PS command and if I give enter, you can see currently in the computer we have these set of process that are executed or this is under execution like with the process ID 566 and PPID as 560, parent ID, process parent ID is 565, or some of the information that related to what is the user ID, at what time the process started, all those kind of informations will be displayed here. Now we'll see what are the different types of information that we can see. First, when it is representing PID, that will represent the process ID. Okay, the unique number that is going to identify individual process. Every individual process that you have or every process that is created, as you know, will have its own process ID. That process ID we are going to consider it as so individual process ID, which is unique, which will be used to identify individual processes. Okay, which will be having unique number. That number is nothing but our process ID. Next, coming for what is TTY? TTY, the terminal where the process is being originated. So where the process has created, that terminal will consider it as, that will be named as TTY. TTY is nothing but the name of the terminal where the process has been created. Next, time. So time, it is going to represent how much time it has taken for its execution. That will be represented by time, as well as command. So it is going to display the name of the command. So which command you are going to use, or which command or which process is executed by that particular command, that will be displayed by the command. Next is what is no hop? No hop stands for, or it is just to say no hang up. What does that mean is, suppose if you're executing any process, so if I have a process which is running, okay, so I suddenly log out, okay, I log out of the system. So when I try to log out of the system, we have some process which is under execution. So those process which are under execution should not be stopped. Okay, so if a process is running and the user logs out, and the process that is under running will go through unnatural death or unnatural termination. Okay, so to stop that, to stop unnatural termination of a process, we'll use this function or this command called as no hop. Okay, so what this will do, this will not end the process, it will not end the process even after, it will not end the process even after the, say, the user has logged out. Even after the user has logged out, the process will not be terminated. Okay, so to use that, we'll be using this function called as, or this command called as no hop, which is nothing but no hang up. Next, top. Top is used to display the list of process with most CPU utilization, and it also provides interactive interface for process manipulation, like sorting the process according to the time, sorting the process which has taken the maximum amount of time for execution. All those things can be done with the help of this thing called as, or this command called as top command. So you can use something like man called as, and I'll give top. Now you can see the manual that is related to top command. So since I'm using Cygwin, so it is not supporting top command, so I can use top. So you can see the command not found. So if you try to execute in Unix operating system like Fedora or other things, you may see the output of what is top command. Okay, so next, moving on to the next topic. So the next topic we have is the other commands, like what is the use of nice command. So nice command is used to specify the priority of the process, which process is having which how much priority, that will be displayed by nice command. Next, time. So specifies the time taken, or the, if it is just like it specifies the time taken. So what is the time consumed by any process, how much time the process has consumed for its execution, that information will be displayed by this command called as time command. So we have a simple example, we'll try that. So I can just write time space df. Df stands for disk free. Okay, how much time has taken for execution. You can see what is the amount of space that is free in D drive and amount of space free in C drive. All those informations has been listed here. And so here you're going to see different types of users, real user and system. How much time is consumed by each of the different types of process will be displayed in this command called as time command. Coming back to the other say commands called as kill command. Kill command is used to terminate any background process. If you want to terminate any background process, we can use the syntax like this: first kill followed by the PID, the process ID, so which will terminate that execution of the process. Next, process scheduling commands. What is process scheduling commands? What are the different types of process scheduling? As I told you, process scheduling is once if you have a set of process that has to be executed, which process has to be executed at which time, and the CPU is allotted to the process, all those things will be taken care by your scheduler. So you can, using commands, we can also schedule, or we can also mention at what time the process should start. So those things can be set, or those things can be provided with the help of these commands called as at command. So at command, this command takes two parameters: one, which process, and which process to execute and when to execute. So if I write something like at now, so now is a command, and plus 2 minutes. If I write something like this, so this command, now command, whatever we have given the command as now, so it is now. So this now command will be executed. So this now command will be executed after 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, it starts its execution. Next, we have batch command. So batch command schedules the process. If you want to set the process for next day, or 5 days after 2 days, after 3 days, if you want to start any process, if you want to schedule that process, we can use this command called as batch process. Next, coming for contab. Contab is, we'll use a scheduler called as contable. Okay, so by using which we can schedule, or we can execute any process. So this is a separate scheduler which will be used to schedule some set of process which are executed regularly. Okay, if you say, for example, whenever you want to start, or regularly every day you want to start one process, okay, so those type of process will be set with the help of this command called as contab. Next, coming for these are like these commands are communication commands. Okay, so these set of commands which are used or called as communication commands, which are used to send a message from one user to the other user. First command we have is wall command. So this wall command, so whenever you want to uh, say allow, whenever you want to allow other users to send any message to all the users who are currently logged in the system, in that case I can use this command called as wall command. So this implies that the system is likely to serve, I mean likely a server, and that has users working on the command line. If you have 3 or more systems which are connected to server, and if you want to give some message to all the users in the server who are working in the command line, in that case I can use this command called as wall command. Okay, so this is used when you want to send a message between a user and all the members that is connected to a server. Next, coming for message. So message, if you don't want to accept any message from any user or another user, if you want to block that process of accepting the message from the other users, in that case we will be using this command called as message command. This message command will help us to avoid anyone sending any information or any message to the user or the current user. So for this you can use the options as uh, like say n, as well as you can use we'll be using n, which will be helping us to say block the user. We can see that in the segment. Say I'll use man and I'll use MESG. So this command is also not available in Cygwin. So if I want to use that, again I need to install, we need to go through our Fedora or other open source Unix operating systems. So just understand, this message command is used to block anyone from sending a message to you. Next, coming for write command. So write command, this command is used to send, or it is nothing but two-way communication. So when you want to uh, read information from both the ends, so two-way communication is established between two users. So with the help of this command, so this command sends text without retrieving email. Say if you want, without sending mail, if you want to send any message, we can use this write message, okay, or write command. So this write command, one uses write a message and then the other, and then waits for the reply from the other user. So once I send a message, so other users will read the information and he can give the reply back to the person who has initiated the say communication. So you can just type something like a write followed by username. So then you can give any set of information or any set of message that you want to pass. Once that is given, so that a message will be sent back to the user. You can just write something like, we'll just check whether write is available or not. So write is also not available. So in this command user interface. And next we have at last, the last command that we have is called as mail command. So this mail command allows you to read or send email. When you want to read or send email between one user and the other user, we'll be using this command called as mail command. So which will be having syntax something like this. First you will be having the command called as mail, and you'll have option, and you'll have username or which user you want to send the mail. Okay, so this is how we are going to use the mail command. So when you want to create a new mail, or when you want to create a numbered mail, in that case I can use the option as n. When I use D, it is going to delete the mail. When you use a W, you can save the mail, and you can use R to reply to the mail. So and Q to quit from the mail program. All those things can be done with the help of this command called as mail command. So this is about our VI editor chapter. So these are some of the commands that we are going to use in VI editor for communication and process creation, process related commands. So just go through those commands and what is the use of those commands. So I'll stop this session here. In the next session we are going to discuss the next topic. Thank you.